Thursday here in the lovely, almost painted Ellen's craft room. Tomorrow is the day where everything needs to be out and the craft room gets painted, which is very, very exciting. So I won't be here for half the day, so I thought, why not tell the painter who's already here he can have this whole room tomorrow. So welcome, come on in. Don't forget to say hi, thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already to get notifications and all the new videos that I put out. Hello Bev. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ellen Woodbridge. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. My background is normally much prettier, but I've already removed some things for painting because I've already done the ceiling here in the craft room. So it's after I finish this video, it's project clear the desk, clear under the desk. I'm very lucky. I have chosen with the painter not to do the backs of my shelving unit. They are very much covered in and you can't see the back of them, so we are not pulling anything out of there, but everything on my bench top and everything underneath needs to go out. My carts, my drawers, everything needs to move. Hey Margine, hey Bev, thank you so much for joining. So today I have a bit of a colouring card, another card that I shared with my team. This is the last card that I shared with my team, and I grabbed out the perfectly penciled designer series paper. I'll go through this paper with you because it's been a while since I did my original unboxing videos, and I grabbed out the oldie but goodie colour pencils, or the watercolour pencils. Hey Kay. So the watercolour pencils, I grabbed these out. I've got swatches and colours and all of that, so I know what they look like, but I just use these as pencils. I didn't do anything else, just pencils, no colouring. A couple of the girls did grab blender pens, but there was no water added. Hey Leslie, they did use them as blender pens. I did not by the looks of it. I might need to do some pencil sharpening for a couple of these depending on what colours I go for. Oh, thank you so much for sharing, Bev. I really do appreciate that. So this is the card that we're making, and I'm thinking, oh no, I'm not missing a roll of ribbon. I have used the Stylish Shapes dies, which, as I predicted, are a new fave. I also grabbed in a little bit of ribbon, and this is, I will grab it off my shelf here, it is the glittered organdy. So it didn't matter what color we used, but we had a little bit of movement and a little bit bling without adding any bling. And the stamp set, the sentiment is from Wisteria Wishes. You know I'm loving this set, and I did love this sentiment here that says, to a friend who's all kinds of wonderful. It's just a great all around kind of sentiment that we can do. Oh, thank you, Kay. I do appreciate that. We love having friends here that we can talk to and play with. So the new products that I'm using today are out of the brand new annual catalogue. That's the beautiful cover, and I do have a link in the description box to my shop. So if you're in Australia, I would love that you shop from me, and I do have the details there. Just going to pop that off to the side, so I have, not that I need room, but I always run out of room on this section of my desk. I think because my laptop's always in the corner, so it takes up a lot of room. So I'm getting the replay video up. I'm going to flick us around and we're going to have some fun colouring. And I will show you my very simple colouring. I don't do anything too fancy smancy because my hands can't do it. So for anyone that's new around here and have maybe wondered why my hands don't do the things that other people's hands do, it's because I have a peripheral neuropathy. So it's called Charcot-Marie-Tooth, and it affects my hands and arms and my legs and feet. It's a rare inherited disease, and me and the kids just happen to have it. I've zoomed in, but I'm not sure if I've zoomed in too far. I'll just turn off the light. Did I zoom in too far? Yes, I did. Let's zoom out a titch, and that should be perfect. Hopefully I didn't go too Blair Witch Project on you. No, that's actually perfect. That's scaringly perfect. Wow. So who have I missed here? Hello, Miss Carol. How are you? I haven't missed anyone. I'm just going to change my chat function here from top chat to live chat, just in case I miss anyone. I have had a few nasty trolls here, and I can quickly grab them when it's on live chat. Okay, so I showed you the stamp set. So just using the sentiment out of this right at the end. So the stamp set isn't the star of the show. Neither is the stylish shaped stars, but I have used the circle stylish shaped stars here, but any of the shapes could have worked. I just wanted to keep it as small as possible, so I didn't cover up too much of my colouring. But you will see these featured in many, many, many videos. Okay, so we've got our watercolour pencils that I will just pop to the side for a second, and we shall go through this paper. Now, what I'm going to do right now, before someone asks me, is put the link, no, not that. I'm going to put the link to my paper holders, because someone always inevitably asks me for this link, and this is where I buy them on Amazon. So these pockets. So the paper comes with this faded, well, we've got the line drawing, and then it comes with these faded pieces, which shows you exactly where the shadowing on each image is. Now I do have 2 packs here, because when I made this with my team, we did use all the packs. So it's totally black and white paper. So we've got the leaves, and then we've got the smudgy flowers. We've got a shrunken down version of these flowers in the original. Then we've got cool funky polka dots. They're totally all hand drawn. Then we have a smaller floral with those 4-leaf flowers from before. A funky chalkboard stripe. We have these beauties. I don't know, they remind me of open tulips, but I know they're not open tulips. Then we have a check, and we've got smudgy leaves on this one, which makes the flowers even easier to colour them in. Or you can use these as black and white and then add the pop of colour on it. And then we have some sketched posies and sprigs on the back. Now that should totally go into, yes, I haven't missed any patterns there. So that is that gorgeous, perfectly penciled paper. Now I just have a single card front size to use today. Now I am not going to make the mistake that a few of my ladies did, and when they adhered it to the card, their butterflies were upside down. but we're going to put them right way up, and that is also going to help us colour. Now, this is the Stampin' grid paper, but I do just like to use it as a small piece of grid paper because this is taped to my desk, and I prefer not to get it messy, although it inevitably does get messy. I will pop it down. Now, if you would like, I'll go through the colours. We have 2 packs of watercolour pencils. It's assortment 1 and assortment 2. So in assortment 1 we have Real Red, Calypso Coral, Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, Bermuda Bay, Pacific Point, Rich Razzleberry, Melamambo, Early Espresso, Basic Grey, Basic Black, and Whisper White. Now the Whisper White is rather important. I just need to do something here to get the other colours. Just bear with me a second while I get 2 handfuls of pencils out. What I need to do is move this little swatch here over. Go back in. I cut up a whole I cut up the pencil boxes and just pop them in here. Now I've got to get them back in the right spot. Okay, and if I close that out, that should be perfect. So in our second pack, we have Cherry Cobbler, Flirty Flamingo, Cajun Craze, Crush Curry, Granny Apple Green, Granny Apple Green, Garden Green, Coastal Cabana, Balmy Blue, Night of Navy, and Gorgeous Grape. So what I have done with my swatches, I have used watercolour paper, scribbled it on, then used one of our water painters to fade out the pigment in the pencils from there, and that's just like a colour swatch, although I've noticed my grape has faded. Depends on where you have it in your craft room, I suppose. Okay, I'm just going to leave that open at the back here off screen, and we have all of our pencils. Does anyone have any suggestions? I can start with the Greenery, and I'll just use a mix of all the Greenery. Tell me what colours you would like. So we have daffodils, have 4 different types of flowers. We've got the daffodils, we've got more of these gladdies, and we've got these flowers, and we have the smaller ones and more daffodils and a few buds. So tell me what colours you would like me to go while I do some of this Greenery, because that is nice and easy to do. So I'm just going in small circular motions. Now I'm probably going to try and go a little bit heavier handed than what I did with this one over here. So a lot of my girls are beautiful colorists in my team when we did this together, and I really did like the look of their heavier handed pieces. So I thought that might be where I go today. Now my colouring is likely to go out of the lines, and you know what? I'm totally good with that. Now on this, I like that as a base layer, but I am going to go in with some garden green and just pop in some detail just where those smudges are, because that's where the Stampin' Up artist is telling me those darker areas are. Balmy Blue and Gorgeous Grape. Okay, so let me grab out. Now, I will tell you the colours on the ends of these don't necessarily correspond. Like this is Balmy Blue. Now, we all know Balmy Blue doesn't look like that. And is this Gorgeous Grape? And we all know this one's a bit darker than Gorgeous Grape, but it gives us an indication. Calypso Coral. So Calypso Coral will work with the daffodils, I think. Good afternoon, Brenton. How are you? So should I match that Calypso Coral with some crushed curry? I'm just thinking that would be a really nice, and the crushed curry I knew was a brown colour. So the crushed curry, that would look really nice with the daffodils. And then I think I just need one more colour, guys. So if you choose, oh good, thank you, Bev. I'm just jumping off what you girls had already chosen. Okay, so we're going to go a little bit darker on these. Yes, I'm mixing up my greens because we have different flowers which are inevitably going to have different leaves. So whilst they all look like the same leaf, they actually aren't. And so that was Garden Green, and I'm going to go in with some olive, although possibly should have done this the other way, done olive and then added in a bit of green, but that's okay. So we've also got to do the bottom bits of these. And Old Olive is a very yellow green, so when you put it up against the Garden Green, it is very, very yellow, and that's okay. So I'm just going to tone these in together, just do a bit of layering. You like Calypso, Bev, I'm so glad. I'm just going to turn off my heater over here. I don't know what it is about going live that just makes me go, oh, I'm so hot. But anyway, so let's pop in some Old Olive here, and then what I will do, I will go ahead and add in the Garden Green as our deeper shade. So yes, I hold my pencil a little bit differently as well. It's just how I have to do it. Everyone is a little different. I wish I could hold a pencil like normal, but I just don't have the dexterity or the finger strength to do that. So I kind of use my closed fist. Even when I write, I really do use a closed fist, which is, you know, just the way we do things. Now these ones, I'm thinking. I'm just trying to balance our greens here. I'm thinking I'm going to repeat the lighter granny apple down here, just because it will look more balanced as an image doing this way. Then I'll go in with my Garden Green, and that'll tie all of our greens together. So do any of you grab out your watercolor pencils and not use them as watercolor pencils? I'd be curious to know, because you've definitely got the scope to not use them the way we are today. Thinking this is a leaf right here. Okay, I'm going to come in with this garden, and that will just brighten up this olive a little bit. So I think I do need to add a little bit more olive just to the end here. Just seems like it's missing a little bit of colour. Oh, and I didn't get in here. Just, I think that's the only, oh, and there's one here as well. Okay, I think all the bud ends, I think I have. Okay, back to my garden green. So we're in for a bit of a colouring session today. So I am just making one card, and that's okay. That's just where we're landing, and then I will share both creations in a blog post. So one will be darker if my hands can get me through this, and one will be lighter. So you can just see, to show you closer up, I'm probably going to go over these bits with a bit more olive just to blend them together, but you can see how I've brightened up these leaves with that little bit of granny apple, and then I've toned down, oh sorry, with garden green, and I've toned down the granny apple using the garden greens. So using like 3 colours, you just create just a bit of a different look. So just trying to blend that out a little bit, adding more colour. But I do like that look. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So pop my greens aside. Now, did we come up with another colour? So I do need, because I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got these 2 here that I need another colour for, because these pairs, this pair is for this pair's for the daffodils. So we actually have 4 different types of flowers. Okay, so let's get Pooh Brown on crushed curry. That is so not true representation of the colour, although it does come out. These I may need to blend and go very, very light-handed. I just want to see if I grab my blender brush, whether it comes out a little more yellow. Let's get my Lazy Susan spinning here. If you're my blender brush, you would be right here. Let's hope you have a bit of juice in you. Yes, that is nice and damp. It does. The magic of a blender brush. It just turns it the most beautiful shade of yellow. Oh my God. I'm going to show you that. Just going to show you that here. Wow. Some of these colours do just need a little bit of moisture. So here we've got the crushed curry in just, and it does look brown, but you just add that blender pen. It's not a blender brush, the blender pen, which has a solution in it that just melts that pigment. Hello Joy, how are you? A pink. Okay, so we can go Melon Mambo or Flirty Flamingo. Okay, and then I'll put the rest away. Although I think I might need out the colour for flower centres. But that's okay. We may use the blender pen today. It may just finish off those leaves nicely, but I'll do all my base colouring first, and then we will come in with the blender pen. Okay, so adding in that Calypso Coral. Now I am going to do another test and see how this Calypso Coral comes out with the blender. It knocks back that colour quite a bit actually. Okay, so I'm going to have to go a little darker with the Calypso. probably go darker where it matches there. I haven't got too much of this Calypso on here, but you can see the difference between the two there, and all those buds I think are going to be yellow, which is why I've chosen an orange for the flower centers rather than the Calypso. And then we'll add in some of the colors we're using for the butterflies. Okay, so I've done those. They're all my daffodils, or at least the centers. And now we'll add in, I cannot believe this, it looks so wrong when you just put it down. It actually looks so brown. But the amazing thing when we add colour, and I may just add a little bit of daffodil to these buds as well. Not daffodil, sorry, Calypso Coral. Especially with this one because it's opening. Okay. And the leaves. So we're going to go for some hybrid colouring. Some of these pieces are going to be completely just watercoloured, just penciled, and then we will have to blend some others. Have you tried a blender pen with watercolour pencils? Because really, it's so easy and gorgeous. It is not a hard technique at all. Okay, so that's those done. I'll just go in with my little bits here of just adding some tinsy touches. Okay, blender pen. Now we are going to start with the crushed curry just to brighten that up. And then once we've done all the crushed curries, we're going to go in and do the corals. So you can see I'm not spending a whole lot of time because this is our designer series paper and not watercolor paper. And just to clean it, you scribble it off. It's really, really easy. Okay, do a little bit, just blending this in. And can I add, yes, I just added the tinsiest bit more colour there. Just blend that one out. Great. Okay. So we are done with those two that I'll put to the side. And did Brenton tell me which pink? Melon Mambo. Okay, so I'll put the floaty flamingo away. Oh no! Oh, happy to keep you company while you recover there, Joy. Hello, Miss Dawn. Sorry, I almost called you Dawn there because I wanted to say hello to Dawn directly after you. Okay, so going in with the Melon Mambo here with these. I know they remind me of Gladys. They're probably something completely different. You girls know I'm not a flower and plant person or variety person. I do appreciate them. My husband refuses to buy me dead plants. So I buy myself Lego plants instead and get Owen to put them together for me. Okay, so pop a pink at the top, pop a pink at the bottom, and you know what? I think we'll just go ahead with the blend again because it just smooths out my dodgy colouring and just makes it, this just intensifies. So the coral sort of went back a bit. And this, oh, the Melamambo just intensifies. Pretty. Okay, give this a bit of a scribble off. And once it starts going clear, you know you're ready to go with the next colour. The tip does get a little bit stained, but that is fine. That isn't a problem. I think I'm going to go, because it's my favourite colour, I have to go purple for the bigs and balmy blue for the littles. Sorry if anyone had any misconceptions about the fact if I was going to do that, you're wrong. Okay, so I've gone really heavy in the middle because that's where I want the most colour. I'm doing a test with this one here, so I'll just show you. I've gone really heavy, and then I've just put a little bit of colour coming out. So I'll go in with the blender pen and we will test the theory that I will get more intense colour here and less intense colour as I come out. I don't know if my theory is right. I'm thinking it looks right, but I'm not sure. And then we get that. I may even have to go over the leaves at the very end. I think that works. So I will keep that theory on the rest of these. Although I'm going to do these bits a little bit different because it's a bud. So I still want to make sure there's pigment everywhere, but I don't necessarily want the same intensity of pigment everywhere. So really going for it here in the center. That's where all that beautiful shading is that the artist has given us. So that's really messy. Going out with just a scribble. Do you know what? I'm going to test the fact that I won't need, on this next one, I'm going to test the fact that I don't need to put any pigment down and I can pull out the colour from the centre all the way out to the edge. So just go in, wet. Could scribble some colour off. That works much better when I scribbled some of that original colour off. Yes, much better. So you can definitely see the intensity colour difference. Okay, there are quite a few dark places on this, which is why I don't want to put my hand on that damp image either, because then I'd do something stupid like I did this morning. I walked into my bedroom after I had a shower. My painter was already here, so he'd already done the bathroom, so I had a shower while he was here. Walked into my bedroom, put my hand and my forearm straight in wet white paint. So before I could even get dressed, I was removing paint off myself. I don't need to add extra pigment. I can use the pigment straight off the brush. Have a look at that. All I did was colour in the dark areas, and it's a very similar image to the big one that we did, and this one's just, oh, yes, I just spotted two little flowers up here that I will add some purple to. And I could go in and do the same thing that I'm doing now with the blender brush with this whole image, even though I did that weeks ago. I could absolutely do that. Okay, so let's do our dark areas, and then we can pull that ink out. And while I'm here, I'm just going to do the other images that I've got here. I have a feeling this may be a leaf, but we're going to do it in the gorgeous grape anyway because we can. And this is such a beautiful intense colour. It has a lot more pigment than some of the other colours that we may use. Okay, so I've got that one. Pull that one out. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, finish with these, and you can see it's just I mustn't have blended that one, I can tell. You can see just the difference in the intensity of the images. If you want soft and whimsical, you can do that, but I definitely want to not have that for this one. Yes, thank you, Bev. They did have to be. Hello, Miss Lisa. Oh, I'm glad you like it so far, Carol. I'm just going to stop and have a swig of water. All this talking, drying out my throat. Okay, now this says Balmy Blue on here. It does not say Balmy Blue on the colour swatch on the end. But that's okay. We know it's Balmy Blue. And I'll just show you, it comes out very, very differently. It comes out almost Pacific Point, and it drops down in intensity. So I don't think I will need a whole lot of pigment for this one. I'm just going to do a bit of a test here. I think I added too much pencil. No. I don't need much pigment at all. So literally in the centers and bring it out. Okay, just a tinsiest bit. In fact, do you know what? I know you chose Balmy, but I think I would prefer, oh, that's Bermuda. Where's my coastal? I think I'm going to prefer Coastal Cabana. Yeah, that's a bit better. Just colour-wise. Yes, much, much, much better. I think it just works tonally. Just because they're competing a little against each other, being that same level of richness. So, and I can add some pencil on top and see how we go here. So making it look like a hot mess using the blender brush, and it doesn't look like a hot mess. That's a bit better colour. I think that works much, much, much better. Much, much, much nicer. Okay, so now I want to go in and add. Now we've got to think about butterflies. What colours do I want my butterflies? So I've also just got a bit of a run in my nose. Yes, yes, exactly, Lisa. That's why I craft. That is exactly why I craft, Lisa. Physio for my hands. Just to keep everything moving. But colour suggestions, while I finish my flower centres, some colour suggestions for the two butterflies would very much be appreciated. So we change tact to coastal, and I have no idea what, I think I know what colours. I used for that. So I've only got a couple of flower centres, and I've gone pumpkin pie just for some contrast and some pop. And because we had so much yellow on here already. Okay. Oh, just let me, yep, that's gone. It's just staining on the end. Oh, that knocks back nicely. That pumpkin pie, it's not so intense. Perfect. Yes. Okay, so that is all those pieces done. Might go in and just do tinsiest bit on our leaves, just because I've blended everything else. We really should go in and give that look over our whole piece. And I'm not even cleaning this in between our greens because really it doesn't matter. Just smoothing and intensifying or knocking back depending on the colour. It just helps smoothing that blending that I already had on here. So for this one I had garden green and I had old olive. So these are going to blend together beautifully. Almost there. Got this one. So you can see when we do this, they just melt together perfectly. I think I already did those by the looks of it, maybe not. I'll just go over them. Okay, that's me all done with greens. Okay, red butterfly, red and orange. I'll do an orange here because we're so close to, a red here because we're so close to the Calypso Coral, and then orange and purple always looks great. Where's my lid? It's over here. It's hiding. Okay, so let me grab my, oh, and I can blend together our cherry cobbler and our real red. So that'll give a nice tonal look. So this is cherry cobbler. They are all numbered as well. So just thinking, oh, going a bit outside the lines. Oh well, he's fluttering. I'm sure he's fluttering by. So, oh, do you know what? I won't need to do this because if I do this and then bring in the blender pen, this should just fade out beautifully. Yes. Oh, look at that. I may go in with a little bit, but that faded out beautifully. I think I do want a bit of brightness from the real red. Okay. So just do a big bit in the middle. Do our sides here, because tonally we're keeping in with our friends and the intensity. But I like the fact that this now looks translucent, like a lot of butterflies do have that translucency. Look at that one, that just pops so stunning. Oh, gorgeous. I think I do want to do a bit of work here with Don't want to overwork it too much because we can risk pilling our paper if we overwork it too much. So what I might do, I might let this all dry. There's no colour that's seeped through or anything like that. So let's get on to our stamping. Now, silly me, only yesterday pulled my jig or my stamp off the Stamparatus, which was not helpful. It is further up, Lisa. If you go, you may need to look for it in the replay, but I did put the link at the start portion of our chat here today, so you will definitely find it there. So I'm just picking this up. I'm going to use our Memento ink for no other reason than I like how it stamps and I like how black it is. So I'm going to do a test stamp first because we're not using the Stamparatus. Do you know what? I may even change tact and go to Stays On. We'll just see. I think I'm going for Stays On. Well, Brenton, you just chose perfectly for both. I'm just going to stamp this off a bit and get off just naturally as much as that ink as I can. That just wasn't... You must take off the... Oh, hello, almond smell. Okay, let me just test that. Oh, that's better. A lot more crisp. Although, I'd love it set up on my Stamparatus, but that isn't to be today. Okay. We're going to hope and pray that this is going to look good on this. Yay! Look, not my best stamping, but it's pretty good. Now, because I've used Stays On, I do actually want to clean this ASAP, and I'm just going to take my mist to it. It may stain, and do you know what? I'm fine with that. My chamois seems dried up, not usable, so I'm going to grab my Stampin' Scrub. Now, you girls and guys, sorry Brenton, normally see me use my Stampin' Scrub with red rubber because I don't like staining my photo polymer with all the ink that sits in here. So that's my reasoning, but I pretty much got most of that black ink off. So there is a shadow, but just by hitting it with the Stampin' Mist fairly quickly, I did not need to use Stays On Cleaner, which I like because Stays On Cleaner can eat your photo polymer stamps, which isn't what we want. So I'm going to grab our organdy ribbon and pop this over, grab some Stampin' Seal. Make sure this is my brand new one, so I've changed it and do just need to feed it on just a little bit so this will work. Okay, that's all I need my Stampin' Seal for today. I am going to stick this ribbon on and I'm going to do it directly off the roll. There we go. Grab my ribbon scissors. that we all know are only used for ribbon, never used for anything else. Oh, I love that sound. The painter's painting while I'm doing this video, and I've just got the door open because he went for lunch, and he's rollering the paint on the wall, and I love the sound of it. It's like that ASMR, just so relaxing. Okay, now I do just pop a pin in majority of my ribbons. I don't whack it in any satins because you can see the pinhole, and I generally don't put it in my seam binding for exactly the same reason. But this is, and I will show you because it's so pretty, this is the glittered organdy. So you've got those glittery pieces in it. Good, you can see that. Hello. Yes, you did almost miss me, Millie, but that's okay. That's what... Oh, good. I'm glad you do that all the time with your stays on Brenton, that I'm not the only stupid person that forgets that there is a vapor lock on it, and that plastic is a vapor lock, so so it doesn't dry out so quickly. It's just that kind of ink. Yes, welcome from the US. I've got quite a few Aussies in here today. I haven't got as many of my US peeps, but that's okay. Everything's busy and they will catch the replay. So it's lovely to have you here. Okay, well, this is all sticking to everything. And this will also help adhere that ribbon. So I'm going to put one right here, and that will stick down that piece a little more for me. And then I'll just pop one in the middle there, and that will adhere my two tails. Okay, I don't need these anymore because after this everything is flat. And oh, I didn't show you, this was my other piece. Do you know what? I think I need to get the blender pen to this one. Have a look at that one. This one's fairly light. This one, oh my god, actually I've just done exactly the same piece twice, almost. Just the butterflies are different. I need to get the blender pen to this. I cannot believe though that I'm going to be, I think I'm going to pop it there because I'm not too enamored by that colouring, but I really like the pop of blue there. So I'm going to pop this here, and I am going to take a blender pen to my other panel because I think it will finish off that panel beautifully. My original one, I went light enough that I really don't think it needs it, but I was way messy on this one because it was in the team meeting and we're all sharing supplies. So I don't mind if I go off a little bit, and I'm still seeing daffodils here and here. It would help if the sentiment was straight, at least some fashion of straight. That's okay. Come off, come off. Okay, that's going to stay right there, and that's fine. Just going to pull that across, that there. Perfect. Lovely. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's attack this piece with the blender pen, and I think that will finish this piece off beautifully. Oh, look at that. Already that piece is just, and this is Bermuda Bay. Just look at that. It takes those pencils. Oh, so much. Wow, such a difference. think this may be the balmy, not exactly sure. Oh, a bit there. Oh, this one's going to intensify. I like that. Oh, they're bluebells. They're reminding me of bluebells on this piece. Okay, here. And these orange ones here. As I said, there's nothing special about using a blender pen. It literally just is taking away those pencil lines and really just blending that pigment for you, because you've already done the colouring and it just, that finishing touch. Okay, finish those, didn't do that one. There we go. I think I'm up to, oh, I can do these. Do my butterflies. Oh, pretty. And then I just need to go in and do my greenery. So that didn't take long to finish off that whole piece. And I don't mind that there's a bit of a halo. I'll add a little bit of greenery there, a little bit there, right in here. Okay. It was funny when my painter was rolling earlier, might have even been late last week, he had a squeak in the roller and it was just funny. You'd go roll, squeak, because the house has been so quiet because kids have been back at school, which has been lovely. You can actually get on with work and not worry about what they're up to. And just a little bit there. Oh my god, that piece has just made my day. Oh, that Bermuda Bay flower, yes. Okay, so this blender pen can now just go away. It's all done. Now, where is my other piece? I lied, I do need a few dimensionals here. No problems. No problems, Darlene, just watching. Oh, no problems, Bev. I will catch you later. Sorry, I was busy colouring. Just a nice relaxing, hopefully I helped you relax today by watching me colouring. And I've given you a few tips and tricks of how you can maximize the use of your coloured pencils. You don't need to actually use a watercolour brush. Our water painters, you absolutely can use the blender pen and get beautiful, intense results. Okay, now I've got to work out. I think I'm going to be covering the same area, they're slightly different. Although I may even go lower because we've used the same colours here. So okay, there we go. Now I've used basic grey to matte these pieces today for something a little bit different. Just a little. I did try it with black and the black was a little harsh. Even though this is all black lines, I just found the black a little bit, just too much. But I didn't expect it. I expected the black to be perfect, but it wasn't. it was Basic Grey that won out. I do love myself some Basic Grey. So you can just see it picks up on that shading beautifully, but doesn't compete with the coloured image where the black was very, very stark. I don't know if anyone else finds that. I use a lot more greys than what I tend to use black. I think I'm just odd, because I see everyone else use black and I go, oh, I love that so much. And I go and use it and yeah, just does not work. I now don't know what's my favorite. I think this one is my favorite that I've done. I like this one, but oh, I think this one's my fave. Opal rounds, if you wanted to add extra bling, or our iridescent rhinestones would look amazing on this. But I just think the tinge of glittered organdy ribbon, and it's the white, just works perfectly. Okay, so I've got two thick basic white card bases here. Please tell me there are two. Yes, they just don't want to come apart. And that was the stamp set falling on the floor. There really isn't much on my desk, but a crafter lunch is always inevitable. So just use the bone folder to burnish that fold so it is nice and tight, and I'll show you why we burnish. Oh, this isn't scored very well at all, if at all actually. I'll show you why we burnish. Just get it in my, pick up the steps, pop it back on the desk. Now the card is opening correctly. Pop on a bit of glue. So we're going about here. I roughly know where this card front is going, so I can eyeball my glue. There we go. And I can always slide some more glue under if required, but I just squeeze out that glue that's there, because even though I've put on a dot, it does expand once I add pressure behind it. Okay. Dry throat, too much talking. Okay, and I'll just wipe that clean on there. So who owns the watercolor pencils already? I'd love to know who already owns them. This just needs to be pushed over a titch. Okay. Right. Done, 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 done. So I have 3 versions of the same card. I am not going to do a separate photo with these colours. I am going to take a swig of my water though while I was doing this. So I've used the watercolour pencils. Just bear with me a second. You own both sets, okay? Kay owns them. Carol doesn't. Have I hopefully pushed you in the direction of maybe wanting them? So to create these cards, I used the Perfectly Penciled Designer Series paper. I've used the Stylish Shapes dies, the glittered organdy ribbon, and the Wisteria Wishes stamp set. So we did probably end up using both sets of this today, but other than that, it's a very, very simple card. Very simple, just requires some time, some chill out just to do some colouring, and it is a great chill out thing, calms your mind, calms your nerves, all of those amazing things that in our busy lives we kind of need from time to time. So I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Please think of me as I am packing up my craft room later this afternoon, and I hope we can get all the painting done tomorrow so I can start creating for my launch, which is next Sunday. So that is my current task, is to create all those samples for us to make in our launch class. As you leave, I would love it if you could please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of the videos. Make sure you press the bell as well. You do use the blender pen, so do you use those with ink? Do you use the blender pen with ink? So have a wonderful weekend, and I will be back on Tuesday on Facebook. Any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and I'll see you on Facebook for my normal content over there. Bye.